Gather round for the bad, the worst, and the weird. It's a daily grind, and the jokes you'll fear from the group to your screen. It's about to get sunny. Welcome to Well, I Thought It Was Funny.
Good morning, folks. The time is 10:32 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 6th of February, 2026. This is my fifth time trying to record this. And of course, it is the 7th of February for my friends on the other side of the planet, those time travelers in Australia, those folks in the city with the most group members worldwide. That's right, the folks in Australia, the folks in Melbourne. I hope everybody's doing fantastic today, no matter where you're from. Not just the folks down under, not just the folks in Melbourne. I hope everybody's doing great. My name is Lee. I'm the guy who started the community. Well, I thought it was funny. And you folks are you. And you folks are incredible. And how do I know that? Well, let's get the first part over. The you part. Who else are you going to be when you're incredible, right? And the incredible part, well, this community of ours was not incredible until you got here. You came here, and all of a sudden we're incredible. So I think that math is pretty easy. You folks are the incredible part of that. So cheers. Cheers for being incredible. Thanks for making this community of ours so popular, so incredibly funny, and what I like to call the funniest city on the internet. Cheers. Now, why do I call us the funniest city on the internet? Because with our two groups, because there are two groups, one group being about 906,000, the other group just about at 7,000. That's more people than a lot of cities have population, right? Right? Yeah, so why not call us the funniest city on the internet? Population us. Funny people in a funny place. Making people laugh. Got that out of the way, and thank y'all for being here. And let me know what you think of the new intro. It's basically the same intro with a much shorter theme song. I'd like to know what you think of it. A buddy of mine pointed out that it was just way too long, the other one. I mean, probably most people leave after 8 seconds at the most. And he does I shorten it even more. He was definitely right that it was too long, and he's probably right that I should shorten it even more. Just kind of trying to get that, I don't know, it's stupid, like, TV show, classic TV show kind of thing with a theme in that. I don't know, it's probably hubris. But what do you think of it? I'd like to hear. Please let me know right now with a comment on this video if you can. I would love it. If you even notice a difference, there's that, and also, while you're at it, please, I know, sorry about this, but can you do me a favor and just click the reaction button so I know you're here? I would love it. If you don't like the video, you don't have to click a thumbs up or whatever. Click that angry face, or if you're on YouTube, or click the thumbs down. I hope you are liking the video, and I hope you do click the thumbs up or whatever, the happy face. It would make me feel good. But either way, I know that you're here, right? That does help me. At least in my head, it helps me. Let's see. It is Friday here, of course, Saturday for those folks in Melbourne and all over Australia. Had a pretty good week, and let's see, it's Friday now. Last video was on Wednesday night. I worked a Calgary Flames game. The Edmonton Oilers were in town against our Flames. This is a huge rivalry of hockey. This is NHL hockey, right? Huge rivalry. These are our provincial rivals. Edmonton being the capital city of Alberta. Alberta being the province that Edmonton and Calgary are in. Calgary being, well, a lot of people call it the financial capital of the province. There's a huge rivalry between these two teams. And it was our busiest game of the year. We always prepare for the worst, but actually it was fantastic. When I mean the worst, as an employee in an arena like that, you have to be prepared for people drinking. You got to be prepared. Oh, sorry about this while I'm doing this. I'm just going to turn this off, my friends. Sorry. You got to be prepared for people drinking too much, people getting really riled up, because that sports thing gets people riled up. It gets them right here where they live. Sometimes they really take their sports seriously, and the Oilers and the Flames have some rabid fans. That said, sold out house, hugely packed. Pretty much everybody behaved themselves unbelievably well. It was fantastic. I had a nice, relaxing night at the busiest game of the year. Uh, it was fun, and we won. That's right. The Calgary Flames won. They beat the Edmonton Oilers 5-4 in an amazing, amazing match. Our goalie, Devin Cooley, who's our number 2 goalie, our number 1 goalie is Dustin Wolf, and I'm going to show you a Dustin Wolf jersey right now, real quick. This was at the game. Now, Dustin Wolf, Wolf, woo! Excellent jersey. Dustin Wolf is number 32 for the Flames. I saw this out on the concourse. I had to ask the guy if he wanted to take a picture. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm really not. Sorry. Anyways, great jersey. But Dustin Wolf wasn't in net that night. It was Devin Cooley. And Devin Cooley goes number 1 on his jersey. He had an amazing night. Fantastic night. We won. And one of the reasons we won is because he had a great night. I think he got his first... He got his first assist. Goalies don't get a lot of assists. That's on a goal. Just fun night. Great crowd. It was a late one. Started at 8 o'clock, so I got out of there about 11 at night. And that was a fantastic night. Yesterday, hung around, did some laundry, went for a bit of I did the loop with my buddy Mitch, who's also one of our moderators here. We went to go check out a video store in town. Yes, a real video store called Rough Cut Video. They're on the internet and they're fantastic. Then we did the loop of some thrift stores, and I picked up a coffee cup, which is going to be a gift for somebody. Actually, I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to show the coffee cup because that might give it all away to that person. But I did pick up a coffee cup, so I spent like a total of $3.50 yesterday. So that's what I did yesterday. And then Wendy and I had a fantastic dinner. She barbecued burgers last night, and homemade burgers, of course. They were fantastic. Thank you so very much, Wendy. I love you. And then we got up this morning and started doing this. So that's what's happening with me today. That's what's happened yesterday. That's what happened on Wednesday. And I made plans for today. Aside from making this video, it's Friday. But honestly, I don't have any real plans. What are you doing, my friends? I ask every video, and I'd love to hear from you. Why don't you take a moment right now? Do me one favor, real quick one. Click the reaction button, like the like button or whatever it might be on whatever platform you're watching on. Please click. And if you're on YouTube or whatever, I'd love it if you subscribed. Come on, please, please, please. Anyways, got that out of the way. But I'd love to know what's happening, folks. As simple as how are you doing? Why don't you leave a comment in today's on today's video, just saying, letting us know how you're doing. You want to share some photos? Would be fantastic. Hey, challenge. Let's see your pets. Come on. Even if you shared photos of your pets before, let's see your pets. Please leave a photo in the comments. I would love it. Anything else? How about share some videos? Now, videos you can't leave as a comment, but you can send a video to me by email at admin@wellithoughtitwasfunny.com. And you can also send your jokes there. You can send your photos there if you want to. We'd love to hear from you. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. I'd love to take this funniest city on the internet and try to make it the friendliest city on the internet by maybe getting to know each other. And I think maybe by doing that, we can spotlight a member every once in a while. And, and I do ask every video, and sometimes people respond. And my mom responded to the last video. She sent in a photo from a walk with Rufus, her amazing dog, who I call my adopted brother. And it's been snowing a lot in Eastern Canada where my mom lives. They went for a walk, and she just took a picture of the the bus bench, totally buried in snow. Like, look at that. That's a pretty big pile up. No sitting on the walk today with Rufus. You can see just a little bit of Rufus's back end there. He's such a handsome dog. But yeah, they've been getting hammered with snow. And out here in Calgary, where I live, Calgary, Alberta, it's Western Canada. We're on the just right next to the eastern slopes of the Rockies. Rockies are about an hour drive from here, and we're expecting 16 degrees Celsius weather today. That is like 61 degrees Fahrenheit. This is winter in Canada. We have no snow outside except for where the piles were, the previous snow had already been piled up from shoveling. That's the only place you see snow, and in some places where the sun let's stay in shadow. That's it. It's just there's no snow. It's brown, because it ain't gonna get green at this temperature. But Yeah, that's what's happening here. Weird weather. Calgary does get something called Chinook winds, and these are warm Pacific winds that come over the Rockies and gives us warm weather every once in a while. So it's not unusual for us to go above zero, or above the freezing point, I should say, because zero in Fahrenheit is different from zero in centigrade. But anyways, it's not unusual for us to go above the freezing point, for a few days here and there. And a lot of people get massive headaches from that because it's a big pressure change too. But 16 is, I'm telling you, like, I like it when I go outside. But I really hope, and it's going to sound stupid, but I really hope we get a really big dump of snow, both here in Calgary and in the Rockies, between now and the end of winter, because you got to build up that snowpack, because that's where all the water comes from, and we can end up with a very, very dry summer, which has happened before. Happened over the last few years too. So that's what's. I'm not talking climate change or anything. Just saying that's what's happening. It's just kind of weird. So that big pile of snow at my mom's, and here we have nothing. I should have taken a picture for this video, but I just kind of just came to my mind. Also, talking about people responding to the last video. The last video I talked about how Wendy and I had gone to A&W, and I mentioned how we still have the burger family. There's the Papa Burger, Mama Burger, Grandpa Burger. There used to be baby burgers. There aren't baby burgers anymore, but we do have Buddy Burgers, which are small burgers, which kind of like the baby burgers. Oh, and there's a teen burger too, and there's a matzo burger. So burger family. The A&W in the United States used to have the burger family. Rose Glad mentioned that she remembered the Burger family from when she was a kid, and she remembers her babysitter laughing really hard when her mom ordered a bag of babies for the family, baby burgers. And my wife remembers the baby burger, which was a staple in Canada. So we still have the Burger family, but somehow baby grew up, I guess. Probably the teen burger now. Yeah, that is kind of funny. Thanks for that, Rose. I appreciate that. And it may be gone now, but it was part of the past in the States. It's still part of our A&W. And as I mentioned in the last one, A&W Canada and A&W US are separate entities completely. Although they did start off, one like the Canadian one was a franchise of the American one. They completely bought out the franchise in Canada, and they don't pay anything to this U.S. anymore. They do have their own menu items, which are traditional menu items. I'm sure they've changed themselves. So, and so that's what's going on. So there's that little trivia about A&W. You probably already knew it though. So, and A&W is much bigger in Canada than it is in the United States. I'm sure you have more A&Ws overall in the States. But per capita, we have a lot more A&Ws than you do in the States. It's just a more popular franchise here. That's changed over the years, right? A&W has grown here, and in the States, it looks like it has sort of kind of petered out a bit. So yeah, there's some boring information about A&W, but I do. That's from me, not from Rose. Rose, your stuff wasn't boring. All right, so I hope you found that a little interesting, folks. But you know what I find really interesting? If you piped up and let us know something about your life, trivia, hobbies, pets. Just want to hear a little bit. Share anything, as little, even and as little, and as this is not unimportant. Just letting us know how you're doing. We'd love to hear that. Come on, folks. Want to hear from you. All right. Well, I've got a couple of featured posts. I only have two today, but they are two good ones, and they're from Michelle Finnerty and Sue Ocheski, two names that you should definitely recognize, my friends. Oh, look at that. I got Devin Cooley still up there. Let's take Devin Cooley down. So we're going to start off with Michelle Finnerty's post. We're bringing that up right now. And this is me. I've got the worst memory. In fact, it's worrying to me sometimes how bad my memory is. Should get that checked. Get what checked? And what are you folks doing in my house? Thank you, Michelle. You made me laugh. You make me laugh a lot. You make a lot of people laugh. Michelle's one of our top posters. And speaking of top posters, Sue Ocheski, another one of our top posters, shared this. And yeah, I guess that call didn't go through. E.T. didn't make it home. There's a saying when you see faces in stuff. It's called pareidolia, I think, or something like that. And this is a very, very obvious one. But yeah, poor E.T. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you to everybody, folks, for all your funny posts. You're the reason why we are the funniest city on the internet. It's because of all the funny stuff you share, folks. It's over 1,400,000 people every day on average come here to find their funny stuff, and it's because you folks are hilarious. So cheers to you once again. You know what really goes good after a sip of coffee? Some bad jokes. I like to throw soy sauce at sad people. You know, Kiko Man when he's down. What should you give an elephant? Plenty of room. Give me ambiguity, or, I don't know, give me something else, I guess. I saw 2 blackbirds stuck together this morning. I'm pretty sure they were Velcros. I think the authorities should investigate our local aquarium. I don't know. Something seems really fishy about that place. I hope those made you laugh, friends, and I've got people to thank for today's jokes. I've got to thank my buddy Manfred Kintop. I've got to thank Roseglad. I got to thank my friend David Knapp. And I got to thank my beautiful, wonderful wife for 4 of today's jokes. And that 5th joke, I kind of wrote it, but I'm pretty sure I heard similar jokes. That's the one about the aquarium being fishy. And folks, I would love to tell your jokes too. Why not send your jokes to jokes@wellithoughtitwasfunny.com or leave them as a comment on today's video. And if I use your jokes, I promise I'm giving you credit, folks. I want to tell your jokes, folks.
Want to help us out and look good at the same time? Head over to store.wellithougitwasfunny.com where we've got t-shirts, hoodies, 3/4 sleeve rock shirts. We got coffee cups. We've got to-go cups. We've got stickers. Check it out today, folks. That's store.wellithoughtitwasfunny.com.
Folks, thanks for making this group so successful. Thanks for being so funny. And thanks for making so many people out there laugh. Over 1 million people every day. There's like almost 1.5 million people every day on average come to this group looking for their funny, and they find it. They find it because of you. You're the ones that made this group the funniest city on the internet. I put the framework in place, but you folks filled it in. You filled it in with all those funny posts of yours, and the fact that you come here every day and you share stuff and you take stuff from the group and share it outside the group too. You're making so many people laugh, and you're making the world a little bit better. So cheers to that. I'm not trying to sound like a hippie, but it's rough out there, folks, and the more you can make people laugh, the better you make this world. So cheers. You folks absolutely rock, and I mean that, as cheesy as it sounds. Thank you. Now, I'm going to be here again in a couple of days. I hope you're here again too. And maybe we'll have a couple of new people. But even if we don't, it doesn't matter. We're already the funniest city on the internet. And you folks rock. So we're going to see you soon. Keep laughing.